bro. That one's on point. Magnesium threonine. That one is the one that tends to really relax your body, and lower cortisol like crazy. And if
Yeah.
if I have the opportunity, because I really have to like set it up nicely, I will take Blue Lotus. It's like the flower of intuition. So I will either have that in a tea, or I will have it wrapped up in something called King Palm. King Palm. And King
Ping
Palm
pong.
is, yeah, it's a tree. It's a tree from Southeast Asia. And it's like the healthiest like wrap that you could actually smoke from. Um
What?
and yeah, man. Yeah. I don't I don't smoke weed. I don't smoke weed, but I
Yeah.
do smoke Blue Lotus. Um
The um
yeah, it's pretty damn good, man. You can do that or chamomile tea. Chamomile tea is really, really good. I put chamomile tea like two bags of hot water, let it steep. Um,
yeah,
but again, your preparation is key.
yeah.
And that stuff will just help you kind of go to sleep easier. Uh, there is one more cheat code I'll tell you. And this one I learned from Uruguay. So we're going on about like 8 years, 9 years. It's called a coffee siesta. And what it is
Coffee siesta?
a coffee siesta. Yeah. So right when you're about to like knock out, like you're kind of feeling groggy and shit,
Yeah.
drink yourself a cup of coffee and go to bed. The coffee really doesn't kick in, honestly, like that. It's not like espresso. Coffee kicks in a little bit, like maybe like 10 minutes, maybe 15, you know?
Yeah.
Yo, Rob, when you wake up, you're gonna feel like you can fucking wrestle an elephant.
I'm gonna try that
Yeah,
shit.
yeah,
Because I
it's
like taking
it's
naps after work.
you'll do it. If you already have everything kind of like set up, like on the way home, or it's already there waiting for you, get whatever that helps you go to bed, already have it set up,
Yeah, I
That stuff's
usually drink
amazing.
cherry juice. I'll
Like
get
like,
a
like tart juice.
yeah, concentrated tart juice, and then I'll
Yeah.
mix it with some water and a cup of that before bed.
Yeah.
And that shit gives me like live dreams, bro. Like
Okay. Look, man. I'm a so I told you we was gonna talk about like superfoods and stuff like that in pertaining to our like chakras and nutrition and whatnot. And so I mean, I guess you could write it down now and you don't have to wait for it later, but Blue Lotus is absolutely amazing for like your sixth chakra and like your seventh.
yeah.
Super amazing. It's literally called the flower of intuition. And the reason for that is it's super smart. This flower is actually like alive. It's from ancient Egypt, and what the flower does is it literally opens itself in the morning to say hello to the sun. They used to say it says hello to sun god Ra, and it literally just folds itself at nighttime. Like the
Wow.
flower actually like moves. You can see it move and shit. It's to me that's insane. And it's a really really pretty flower. It's blue like all around,
Yeah.
and in the center it looks like a sun. It's like yellow.
Damn, bro.
Ese vaina está fuerte.
Yeah, bro. Does that have anything to do with like with your pineal gland, like doing something to your pineal gland or something like
Yeah,
that?
yeah, exactly. 100%,
You said
100%. That's third eye talk right there. Yeah,
heard.
yo, it's man, as above, so below is a real thing, and for something to physically, tangibly happen here, it's coming from somewhere in the ethos already. Um, there's something we're actually gonna talk about. Let me share the screen because as primitive as it gets, it's really it's really all about like how we as humans can create to innovate. And that's our thing right here. And I really wonder, there's a slide at some point that I got here where I'm like, did the universe already birth us? And if so, is this already written in stone? And we choose fate, or not choose fate, but like we choose a path. And that's like destiny. Destiny is like where your yes or your no takes you. And then the fate is kind of what just happens on that path, you know? And I think, huh, how did this all really play out to be? But you'll see when I get there, when I get to that slide. Vamos. Okay. Yeah, leading centered is gonna be kind of like the idea and the premise for what primitive functional nutrition is. As much as I've shown you in the very beginning, like how I said, there's the yin and then there's the yang, and like the masculine and the feminine premise that you could use that for the scope of like everything. This is once again one of those other giant, like massive type of templates that you can think about. Like, how does somebody lead a centered life? So we spoke about those values. And with those values, we have our dream compass. We've learned how to navigate ourselves with nutrition and the effects it has on our brains so that we could actually choose things wisely and that we could actually like lead and create in divinity from a healthier place. So let's give it a whirl here. Today's lesson is lesson one on the roots. Roots, roots, roots. If you want to call it lesson roots, you can call it lesson roots, but you will see the root chakra there all the time. So this slide, although a lot doesn't look like it's happening, there's a lot happening here. Before I go, do you have any questions from last presentation?
Not necessarily. No. Um,
Okay.
I'm because for me, because I'm like I review the notes and I'm
Yeah.
still kind of just not stuck, but I'm finding myself very, very, very intrigued with the gut. Like
Yeah.
it's almost like it feels with all this information that a lot of the answers, if not most of the answers to your problems, may rely there in some sort of way. Like they might just
Okay.
reside there, whether it's
Okay.
like health or your mental and stuff
Yes.
like that. Um, and funny enough, like I was watching this show called Adventure Times. I'm sure you've heard of it, but there was this
Yeah.
there was this episode where Finn the human
Mhm.
he hated being underwater until his best friend Jake was all the way down there, and then out of nowhere, like when he had to go down there to go save his friend, this like dark entity came out of his belly button and was like, I am the manifestation of all your fears. And it went into this whole
Oh
it got
shit.
deep. I'm like, oh,
Go.
I gotta send you, I'm gonna send you a clip. I'm gonna send you the little clip. I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna. But
Is it that I've never I'm not 100% sure, but is it like that triangle with the eyeball?
the
No.
entity?
Yeah.
What do you mean? What is a
Nah.
triangle with the eyeball?
Okay, okay, no, no, never mind. Is that there was a friend of mine who you ever seen this show on YouTube called Death Battle?
Nah.
Um hold on. Damn, if you had never seen that, I gotta put you on. You gotta go watch Death Battle. They have like all your favorite people fight against each other. Superman versus Goku, Darth
Oh
Vader versus
shit.
Doctor Doom. yeah, Wolverine against like the Hulk, like, and it's like mad
Yeah,
detailed, and the graphics look freaking amazing. Like, like holy
yeah.
shit! Right, wait, Rob, forget everything that we're talking
You
about.
you can put this shit on, bro. I'm not. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on,
Yeah.
hold on. Wait. The reason I asked is because let me get this Netflix out the way. Uh, I'm gonna show you right now the entity thing I was talking about real quick, and there it's from a cartoon show. Uh, Death, Death Battle. Give me, I guess you got to give me some names because they got people. I mean, they got everybody, dude. Let's see their videos.
Hmm.
Okay, look at it. Look, they got Poe versus Iron Man. They got Omni Man versus this guy from Homeland. Hold on, here's the channel. Death
Omni
Battle.
Man,
Um, Mario versus Sonic.
Mario. Nah, Mario
Yeah,
versus Sonic is crazy.
they got Cloud versus Link from Final Fantasy.
Oh,
Ryu, look, freaking Galactus from Marvel against like the ultimate bad guy from like Transformers. Um,
yeah,
Frieza versus this one makes no sense, but Frieza versus Megatron. Uh,
yeah.
this is fire. Yeah, Silver Surfer against Martian Manhunter. Guts versus Dimitri.
Infamous.
Sí, sí, eso está bueno. This is the guy I was talking about, Bill Cipher. He's from some show called Gravity Falls, though. Never mind.
Nah, it's not that one. It's not that one. But
So
yeah, like
the entity, yeah. What was it again?
uh, it was uh, it was Adventure Time. So basically, like it came out of his belly button and shit. And it was
Yeah.
like I'm the manifestations of your fears. Like you can't do what you're trying to do right now because I'm here. Like it's over.
Mm,
And but it just like and then there's a lot of things connecting to the information.
yes.
And I'm kind of just piecing it together as I go. Like this morning I was eating my breakfast and I had two fried eggs. I made them in uh the tallow from bone marrow.
Nice.
And then I had that with some avocado and some shredded raw beets, right? And then after I was done with that, I had some blueberries. Um, but like after I had the blueberries, that's when everything got even better. Like I felt more like I don't know if it was the sugar or something like that, but I
Huh?
felt like the blueberries had activated all that. So it's just it's all like connecting slowly, like through the day as I apply it.
Blueberries, yeah, a lot of fruits that are super like packed with hydration, like there's already water in it. It is
Yeah.
something incredible for you. There's a term in the Tao where they're like eat your water, and when they say that, they actually mean to actually like eat your fruits with water. Um, any of those fruits that have like a high amount of water in it tend to enter your body and your bloodstream very quickly. Blueberries, I think blueberries, if you can have that abundantly, um, a blueberry juice. Yo, try a blueberry juice. Just a whole bunch of blueberries and some water or coconut water. Yo, is so simple. It is so fucking simple. But I will tell you right now, I've never heard of blueberry juice that you can actually buy from a store.
I never heard of that either. You hear like blueberry yogurt, all this stuff, but you don't get blueberry juice.
Nah, nah, you don't. You don't. By the way, if you are a Dragon Ball Z fan, you gotta see this one. Just side note. Gogeta versus Vegito. That's it.
Yo,
That shit is fire. That shit is really fire. All
definitely
right,
check
let's
that shit
go
out.
for sure. Um, when you were talking about the dark entity that comes out of the kid, remember how yesterday, if you have an imbalanced solar plexus or third chakra, it's your unwillingness or the lack of willpower to like get after your dreams, guilt or not being confident enough. And so your gut feeling or butterflies in your stomach, it's a real thing. When that begins to happen, that is your body's physical, like that's literally your physical body saying like, man, something's happening to us, like you better start recognizing. And it's a wise mechanic. I'm telling you now, when you start learning these things, the as above so below the concept is real, because here's the thing: you have to have had that information come from somewhere, from up here to the brain to here, and then the heart being at the center of it all. The heart being at the center of it all is, once again, it will also give you a physical response. Chances are your heart will act first before the stomach. It might pump a little bit more, and then you might start feeling a little funny in the stomach. And if not, your heart will probably still tell you, like, if you look at like food and you're like, I'm not gonna eat that shit, but you eat it anyways, then your stomach's gonna be like, fuck, you know.
Yeah.
But there might even be other signs. You might even have gas because you're like, nah, I don't want that in my system, but you do it anyways. You never know.
But sometimes I feel like even if you go into it, goes back to what you were saying about, like praying for your food or like having some sort of positive affirmation. If you go into the like I've had times in my life where I eat food and I'm angry, like I'm upset and it
Yeah,
doesn't sit right with me. You know
yeah.
what I mean? So it's like it's it's pretty interesting because that I was hungry and I did want the food, but I
Mm-hmm.
was I was upset about something else. So I didn't go into it with like it's almost like you got to go into the whole eating with a clear mind. Like it's like sleeping or going to the bathroom. You got to be calm. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. 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 It's true.
You can't really have these. You can't really have these these senses activated at a time where like they shouldn't be.
Mm-hmm. 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 Uh, Consciousness is, once again, like also recognizing and living in the awareness of polarity and duality is always happening around us. Um, as above, so below, minus, plus, positive, negative, negative, positive. And this is kind of where we're going to stem things off from, where we want to look at this positive side as our consciousness. If you want right now, you could actually put a column right now, plus the positive sign and then the minus sign, and make like a chart. And we're gonna write on positive, it's like an affirmation. It's I choose to. And this is our conscious mind, our conscious mind. And then the subtract, the negative side, is gonna be I have to, is the I have to. And the I have to is our shadow side. I don't want to say I mean we can say unconscious actually, yeah, because there are certain things that we tend to not do, or there's things that we tend to do that are just like programmed within us. So everything that we expect from us, literally what to expect from us human beings, is our our positives and our negatives are going to be in coherence with affecting the dream and the awareness, making our balance, making our choices, and our values of action. And in this world, our root, and it's interesting. I start with the root because it is your foundation, and it's the fastest way to talk to somebody at a level that they're going to understand in this modern time right now for most people. And let me tell you something why. Because you can concrete, you can, this is tangible. I'm flesh. If I was to start talking to people who didn't understand higher consciousness, things of that nature, I might lose them, you know? And we're gonna drift off somewhere and we don't know what the fuck's going on. However, when I spoke to you about the root chakra, give me a quality of the roots. Give me any quality of anything that you've learned from the roots.
I mean, I know from there, like if you feel like there's something, well, the root chakra is built from the solar plex, like the other name is that, but also if you feel some sort of guiltiness or like it could originate from there, it could be stored into your root chakra. And
Yeah.
so if there's anything wrong in your solar plex, right? Um, it could be there. Like it might be like guilt, and then there's something wrong with your root chakra and stuff.
Well, absolutely, because right, check it. Our roots, um, it deals with the like safety and security of what we had as kids from 0 to the age like 21. And you could feel guilty. You could feel guilty for, as a man or as a woman or as a mother or a father, not providing safety or security for your loved ones. Like how maybe you had it as a kid. Maybe you would want to give that back to the world. And you know what? Chances are you're gonna actually absolutely feel that. You know, your roots. So by the way, your roots is located down there where your weapon is.
Oh,
And
I see.
yeah, is located there, and it has to deal with your legs as well, like the roots of a tree. So when you start talking about having a foundation, that's like something very tangible in the flesh. Like we think about that whole reptilian mind that I was talking about. I'm looking for safety. I'm looking for my territory. I'm making sure my home is safe, and I'm also making sure that I gotta get food and bring it home. And then there's other things that we don't have to pay attention to that are out of our control, automatic, like breathing, temperature regulation, etc. The list is there. So our conscious of resistance training is literally the same hand in hand for spirit and emotion. The hard part about this is when you're experiencing a positive emotion and you're experiencing a funky emotion, you know, you cannot train it in the way you wish that it was trained in the weight room. However, they almost operate the same exact way. When I train, I'm under specific conditions that are within my control. When I go through an emotional type of turmoil or excitement, I don't know when it's really going to happen all the time, you know? And the best thing that I can do, well, you're going to need resistance, some type of resistance, some type of opposition for your growth. Because if we didn't have any problems, I guess, within our households growing up or in life, we might just be like, just on the TV, just, I don't know, not doing anything, just on the remote channel surfing all day. And it's interesting how I think this all works out because root is love. It's red. It's our foundation, and we're all kind of thrusted into getting a grasp on our emotions and our spirit. So here we go. Okay, we're gonna start off on a positive tangent. So we're on our positive column. I am going to give you like 3 minutes to write down your just one thing of I choose to and I want to. Or you can even write I
Okay.
get to. Mm-hmm. Clock is on.
Gotcha. All right, I got my three things now.
Muy bien. Okay. Hit me.
I get to sleep. I get to body weight train, and I get to go out with my girlfriend to eat.
Nice. Nice. How about I choose to?
Oh, I thought they were like co. I got you. I got you. Never mind. My
They
bad.
they
My
they they,
bad.
they all coexist. It's true. They all the same thing.
um, yeah. I mean, though, cause yeah, like I feel like those are things that, cause when I go out to eat, I don't really just go out to a fast food restaurant. Like I like to eat well. Like
Yeah.
I go out to have like healthy food and it tastes good. So I feel
Hmm.
like a lot of people can't do that because they don't know. You feel me? Like they don't know,
Yeah.
and like or they haven't put themselves in a position to like it.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
oh, and like body weight training, man. Like I can confidently say I'm at a level where a normal workout for the basic person is
Yeah.
like like I can't do it like that anymore. Like it doesn't work. Like like I gotta do like pull-ups with three fingers and now like mess around and do stuff like that just to kind of
Yeah.
like get an upgrade. Everyone, you know what I mean? Like when I go bouldering, I feel it and stuff like that. But
Oh yeah. No, no. Well, the bouldering and the rock climbing is always gonna be a class of its own. And the body weight training now, I know exactly what you're talking about. I know.
yeah, bro, like now I'm just looking at fucking like crevices in my apartment to see if I can get my toes stronger. Like try to get on there with my bare toes and like just try to do that and like as much as I can,
Yeah.
throughout, me living and see where it takes me. Like, see, you know what I mean?
It
Like
was
instead of
crazy.
making I put it in my day. Like I do this part of the day.
Yeah. Yeah. No, 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 no. You have to do crazy shit now. I'll give you a fun fact. So I've been finding out that timing or time training is better than sets right now for me, or like reps. And example, I'll put 5 minutes on the clock and I will do walking lunges and I will never stop. Just I will never stop. I'll just walking lunge all the way straight through. I'll start doing like really, really long endurance sets lately. Like yesterday, I hung on a bar, 10 seconds, 10 seconds, five muscle ups, five 10 straight bar dips, 10 pull-ups. I'm like, all right, cool. That's good. How fast can I get that done? Um, and then this is a little off topic, but I will invite you. You want to challenge your body with body weight training again? I will invite you to try out this method. It's called the Norwegian method. Now,
Okay.
this is a real method, Rob, but it's it's made for cardio. It's made for cardio. It's made for like jogging. It's made for marathon runners and shit like that. And so when you transition what I'm about to tell you into like exercises for like lifting or conditioning, you're gonna say this guy is a madman, and maybe I should get a Nobel Prize for this because it's nuts. Here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna go,
Yeah.
it's a 4x4, which means if I was doing it for cardio, which is the original intention, is what the Olympians do, you do 4 minutes of 85% of like your heart rate, so your
Yeah.
intensity of running is you're at a you're at a good pace, 85% of your maximum heart rate or your VO2 max or whatever. It's a lot to sustain for 4 minutes. However, that's one set. When those 4 minutes are done, you don't stop running. You then do 3 minutes of running, yeah, for like 60% so that your heart rate can kind of go down. When those 3 minutes are up, you enter set number two, which is 4 minutes again of 85%, followed by 3 minute light work, then another four, then another three, then another four, then another three. So that's four sets. That's why that's why it's a 4x4. 4 minutes of hard work, four sets. Just from an endurance standpoint, it sucks. However, you're running, so the skill and the entry to doing it is not that hard. You just got to keep doing the same thing, you know? So it's okay. The Norwegian method has been shown to actually cut people's age by 22 years. And I don't mean killing them.
Yo,
I mean making you younger.
that's crazy, bro.
Mhm. Making you younger. Cardiovascularly speaking, your heart, there's a guy who his heart rate doesn't have to almost like beat at all. Like when he's just chilling, like it beats, but like every like 5 seconds, his heart rate takes forever to skyrocket if he's not doing anything crazy. And there's
Yeah.
old people who are like 85 who their heart health is actually like 40. It's crazy.
And this is
Pero
all for the Norwegian.
it's off the Norwegian method, yeah. Mm-hmm. I have not done it for running. Um, I had my friend Joseph do it for lifting. He was the first person to do this, and I never did it myself. I'm doing a case study on him. I'm like, let me know how this goes. He told me he felt like he was gonna blow up. He said, I really felt like my body was gonna explode. He said, I felt like my body was gonna explode. Yo, so here's what you got to figure out for yourself. I played with him yesterday, and I was like, I'm gonna do 4 minutes worth of walking lunges, and then I'm gonna rest 3 minutes in a horse stance. Already, I was dying. My legs were shaking,
Yeah.
so I didn't quit though. What I did was I just went back. I just went into a deep squat. I was like at 2 minutes on horse stance. I couldn't take it, but I don't want to quit, so I dropped into deep squat. The 3 minutes had passed, and I was like, all right, let me try 4 minutes again of walking lunges. Wow. Wow. I could not finish it. So then I said, okay, let me play around and try upper body so that the legs can take a breather. So first set, try this. You can try this yourself. Walking lunges for 4 minutes, and then 3 minutes of like an isometric. So the horse stance, or you can do deep squats in different positions, like a deep squat hold. Um, the horse stance is already a problem in and of itself, but if you can hold horse stance for a long time, go for it. It's up to you to keep going with lower body if you want, but I would say the first set is lower. And the second set, you can then do hanging Or not,
Yeah.
you could do hanging or you can do push-ups. So maybe you can go chin-ups for 4 minutes, right? Let's say you can no longer do your chin-ups. Just try to hold it, right? As much as you can. You're going slow on your chin-ups. You're trying to last for 4 minutes on the freaking bar, you know? But once you do that, or maybe even rows, rows. So you could do rows for 4 minutes and then try hanging on the bar for 3 minutes to rest. Just switching from two arms to one arm.
That
Then
shit sounds crazy.
yes, it's fucking nuts. It's nuts. I'm a lunatic in this sense almost. Your third set could be lower body again, and I would pick a locomotion exercise. I would pick Spider-Man crawls because you get good hip extension. It's like a leg press, honestly. So you crawl for 4 minutes. If you're dying down, just change the leverage, turn it into a bear crawl, bring your glutes up higher, do a downward dog crawl, but don't stop moving. And then I would say 3 minutes of body weight squats. And then for your fourth set, which is your last one, another upper body drill, I would say do push-ups for 4 minutes straight. Whenever you feel like you can no longer rep it out, do it on your knees, uh, do negatives. It doesn't matter. Find a way to keep cranking out the set. If you can no longer do push-ups, get on the knees. If the knees can't do it, hold it. And then your third one can be like holding a plank. Your shoulders are crying for 3 minutes and just find different ways to change it.
Yeah.
Try that shit out,
That
man.
shit's
You're gonna finish by the way, you'll be done in like 30 minutes.
yeah, pretty yeah, literally. Because it's four sets, right? Four
Mm-hmm.
sets, four, 1, 4, 3, 3, 4. That's basically how it is, right?
Yeah, yeah. Wepa. Okay.
Thinking of like different combinations. Like doing that with kettlebells is crazy. Like that would
I
be a
got
crazy kettlebell.
I got my friend doing it with barbells.
Oh, is that the guy you put up that you had him do the grip of death and he was holding that shit?
Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah. He blew up from 168 pounds to 163 to 195 this year. And
That's
he's
muscle,
like, yo,
like by the pound, bro.
and he's 6 feet, 6 foot one. So like being a little bit lanky, sometimes a little hard to like put the weight, but yeah. I Let's get back to this one. So our roots, crystal ball method and positive empowerment, my friend. Back at it. We get to choose to, we want to. Our words in this case have positive affirmation. This is us consciously being aware moment to moment what we're creating. And so in my root chakra, in my power, my groundedness, I'm always figuring out those I want to say features of it. My safety, my security, what am I looking for? How do I feel when I do this? And if we are looking to change ourselves, if we're looking to get more empowerment through this, I like this thing called the crystal ball method, where it's just like, okay, I'm going to pretend how far I can see in my future. And the crystal ball method is if I keep living this way, then dot, 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 dot. And I think it's super, super, super potent question to ask yourself at any given moment. If I keep eating this way, then dot, 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 dot. You can look into the future in a sense, like you're looking at your own action currently right now. So life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all. That's Helen Keller. Crystal ball method. People in your world, by the way, this is people are either angels, mirrors, or crystal balls. You know, um, in a crystal, or they can even be all three at the same time. Maybe they can even be two at the same time. An angel is exactly what it sounds like. Someone who came with unconditional love and grace, but don't really fuck with them because you probably get a few in your lifetime and they don't always stick around forever. You know, don't take advantage of angels. And crystal balls are like, well, if I keep living like this with uh these people around me or this person, or if I myself keep living this way, then I can look into my future and kind of see where I'm going at. And it's the classic sense of you are the five people you hang out with, you know?
Yeah.
Boom. And this is this
That's
is
like
this is what it means to be conscious. Mhm. What were you gonna say?
so that's the clairvoyance that you were talking about when you hit upon dreams.
Like I'm mentioning before, yeah, your dreams and your awareness is constant, man. And you need to have that clairvoyance. And if you're starting from the roots, your feet, that which is actually making contact with earth, the floor, this is why I can talk to people from a rooted sense. Like if I know what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, then you can essentially start forging your path with clairvoyance. Here we go. So that's positive. We're gonna talk a little bit of our unconscious. Um, an unconscious shadow, so to speak, is stuff that's already like programmed into us, and we just kind of do things on autopilot. Uh, I think that constantly some people are always gonna annotate it to something negative. However, I'm always just gonna say that and I mean negative in a horrible way, like a bad person way. Um, I think people usually refer to negative as that. I am referring to a negative charge, opposite from a positive. In essence, I'm telling you that we do things from our programming in which we have our safety and security originally from our upbringing.
Yeah.
This is why I mention it being a feature of our groundedness. So if you go to church on Sundays because you did that as a kid, or that's what you'll just unconsciously sometimes do. Um, you're programming from your DNA, your epigenetics, or your nutrigenetics, your nutrition essentially from your ancestors. And nutrigenetics is if we could all go back to our own motherland in a heartbeat, then you could instantly already know why you enjoy something so freaking much or why it has such high quality properties to your body, you know. Nutrigenetics also even affects the way you would move. You ever heard of Celtic hip?
No.
Okay, so a Celtic hip is people of like Irish background or Northern Europe. Celtic hip in a sense is a very narrow type of hip structure. Uh, anthropometry. Um,
Yeah.
I don't know books on it. I have just experience and understanding just limb length and its effects on people just from like training. Um, so if you have Celtic hip, you're essentially have this Viking background in which you didn't really squat too much because it's too cold.
Yeah.
You're gonna kill and get whale blubber and burn that shit as fast as you can and then start moving again before you freeze to death. They're not gonna be like Tainos or the Huns or barbarians who can pop a squat and get really low to the ground and start just making their food. You know what I mean?
So what does that mean? What does that mean for like their structural integrity in the long run when they get older? Because
Yeah,
I'm
that's
assuming
a
that if the hip, right, then and they can't really squat because of it. And we live in a life that's just sitting all the time.
mm-hmm.
Like they experience like back pain more? Like do they have like an increase? You know what I mean? Like do they have some sort of pattern in their spine that like is more common in them?
So it's funny.
Yeah,
I can you can never separate the two, at least for me, because I have this as part of like the movement curriculum, but it's true, man. It's true. You're gonna see case studies like that. You are. You absolutely are. There's a reason why Asian people are just born way more flexible than us, than an average American, and why their spine is really like neutral, like it's really like rigid. Um, yeah. Listen, if you know who you're dealing with, then you have to understand where they come from and what you can do to mitigate things as much as humanly possible. That goes with saying that, okay, if you're a Viking, right? And say you're from Norway, chances are that I'm not going to say that you cannot deep squat, because now the era that we live in is things are warmer and things are a little bit different. However, you will most likely have a predisposition to bad hips or tighter hips or hips with less range of motion than a fucking salsero, you know, or or a Middle Eastern guy from Turkey. So yeah, no, you're right. You're absolutely right. It is a real thing. It says that this person has a certain shelf life if they continue living extremely sedentary. It's true. It's very, very true. But we can
wow,
intervene.
yeah,
We can intervene. We can start doing exercises of primitively. We can start doing our mobility drills, our somatics. So we can do something about it. We can. Um, but once again, your genetics are your genetics. So you have to,
yeah.
again, have clairvoyance. But this is the thing. Our challenges hold the seeds of our potential. And this is the unconscious shadow of why we are the way we are. If and I'll go on with the same anthropometry thing. Me, for example, my narrow stance squat took me forever to accomplish. I had a client named Yu Chin, and she could do that for days. She couldn't rep out for days. Narrow stance squat, like they call it the Chinese squat. Fuck. And I'm like, how you do that? And she was saying she works for Boston. She's works for Boston Robotics now. And she was like, oh, well, when I was younger, in school, our phys ed program from elementary school to high school, you're mandated to do 5 animal exercises in a 400-meter park. Duck walking,
Yo,
yeah, yeah. Yo, she was from like something called like Zhang province, something like that. And you have to duck walk, bear crawl, you do the ostrich. There's a leopard crawl and something that they call like the kangaroo, like hopping like a kangaroo. My man. And she could do the splits, all of this. I was like, fuck your genetics. Fuck this. I'm here trying to work. I'm like, how is this
yeah.
possible? How is this possible? She's like, my mom did it, my dad did it. Like they all have an intense physical educational program.
She
So
came trained already.
yeah, she's like, she wants to lose weight, and she's 115 pounds at 5'1". I'm like, what weight you trying to lose? Like,
What?
yeah, yeah.
Ah. I'm not
There's more things we're trying to fix here than freaking weight loss. But hey,
sure.
uh, uh, us, a psychic substance is not produced blindly. There's constant awareness of duality. That's going back to how we started this conversation about your third chakra being in your brain. Like a gut feeling is not fake. It's a psychic substance. It's a real mental thing that we got from, scanning our area and intuition telling us like, something, I have to do something about this. You know, some people are gonna have, you may hear this, you may hear, actually, you'll hear you have a calcified third
give
eye
me
or a
one.
calcified pineal gland. You ever heard of this before?
Apparently
Yeah,
the fluoride, something about the fluoride, how it like blocks it and stuff like that.
yeah,
And the fluoride's in our toothpaste, tap water, all that.
yeah, yes, yeah. And I truly believe me and my girl talk about this all the freaking time. Yo, these kids are aging so rapidly, so fast. We really think it that the chemical, like McDonald's during our time, wasn't the same McDonald's. You know, now those chemicals are at an all-time fucking high. Frito potato chip Lays, ese vaina te va a matar in a heartbeat. Now you got now you got like weed and you got all these other drugs and the Xanax and all this shit so available in stores so fast. It fucks you up quick. And
Bro, but my bad.
nah, go ahead, go ahead.
What I was gonna say was crazy is how they market this shit, bro. The way they market it is they make it so that a kid could grab, like somebody who's 18 or 17 or that they want it. You know what I mean? And so
Mm-hmm.
that young, because for us, we're already old enough to the point where like we see it, we see a bag of chips or like we see the colors on an advertisement. We're like, it's una pulqueria. Like we know off rip. You feel me? But
Sí.
those colors, the way it's advertised, like that's supposed to be for the younger brain. You know what I mean? For the
Mm-hmm.
younger people to look and say, oh shit, let me try this out. Oh, lime strawberry flavor. Like that's how they get people now. Like,
Yeah, yeah. It's true, man. Um, we call it the kids are on demon time. Um, and it's such an adage because like people understand the music industry also. They understand the element of sound, the frequency of it. And when you tap into a certain type of frequency, you tap into a certain type of mind control almost. And so
mm-hmm.
the problem here is you start becoming influenced by other forces. And this is like the evil negative that I'm gonna personally say that is not your shadow side. It's just like your shadow side helps you. You have potential in the unmet tasks. You have potential in the challenges that you hold because of just the program that you had because of your parents and your ancestry. That's it. You know what I mean? Like this is stuff that kind of just happens to me. But like when I have outside forces like school, that's the way it's built. It's meant to really fuck you up. The mentality of how we get our checks, the mentality of the music that we listen to. Those are extra things that we have to start combating against. And it boils down to the food. So um here are our features with what's associated with our grounded chakra, our roots. It's safety and security, tribe, an association of wanting to belong. We'll use the kids as an example. How many times do you want to be part of the cool kid group or the peer pressure or the church group? And so this all, by the way, starts again. It's like all of this is going to affect my dreams, my balance, and my choices and my actions. And so I choose. If I'm too much to the left, my friend, you going left, man. This guy came from left field. It's coming from out of nowhere. You know, I'm too negatively charged. Now I'm becoming a little bit too unconscious. where I'm allowing other influences to affect me, or I no longer have clear hand on my ship. I go too much to the right, my consciousness now is getting to a point where I'm not allowing things, I'm not being receptive, perhaps. Maybe I'm being too rigid. So I say find the middle path, which would be Zen. Find your Zen path. And honestly, my opinion, I would say that's leaning more towards the right, because if I have a firm grasp on my consciousness and
Yeah.
I'm willing to meet my unconsciousness on purpose. I'm willing to do this. I believe that is what creates our Zen, the receptivity of my unconscious patterns. And either I bring it up to myself or people bring it up to me so that I can do that work, you know? That to me is what Zen is, or the way, the Tao. So we got some homework coming up here. Um, any questions or comments so far?
Nah, not so far. Nah.
Okay. This is our homework in a sense. This template is also always going to go with each and every single chakra at some point. So if we're talking about our roots are associated with the tribe and the security and etc. So for you, you ask, what is the unmet task in accordance with my root chakra? What is the unmet task that I have yet to accomplish in my nutrition or in my safety and security net, or in my the tribe that I wish to belong in, if you don't want to at all. But no matter what it is, we're dealing with, first and foremost, it'll be our roots. The second lesson is going to be our second chakra. Then the second is going to be your third, etc. And the second is the second one is story gap. The greater the gap you tell others than what is really happening, you're gonna start, excuse me, you're gonna actually start creating a masquerade. That's why I got the mask there. Um, you can't live multiple lives. It becomes, you can, but it's bad. It's like you become exhausted. You're not yourself, and you potentially will. This is the thing, right? You start charging negatively too much, you will get illness. You will have illness. It will be psychosis. It's the lies you tell yourself or to others. You will probably be sociopathic, God knows. But eventually things can lead to death. It can happen. It can happen, absolutely. And I tie this again to, it's so interconnected that I'm really just trying to as well understand how the world we live in is really shaping us and things that we can do about it. Because if I, as a grown full adult, keep allowing the shadows from the left, the 1%, the way they treat me with school, music, the food, all the drugs, etc., etc. If I keep allowing that to harm my God-given body, and it keeps keeping me at a lower frequency, my groundedness, my roots. Remember, man, the flesh, you and I can instantly look at each other and be like, oh, that's a human being. That means my grounded roots are affected by what? If my root chakra is where life force is being given and received, that means you can control me via, okay, what do I need for a home? Oh, I need food. Oh, I need safety. What does that look like? Troubles, okay. What troubles my food? Finances. Uh, what troubles my home? The safety. what troubles my wanting to be of tribe, the influence from mass production of fucking Jordans that are gonna kill my sneakers, but now I look cool, or the Gucci heels. So I'm literally telling you that your story gap, even though you're not physically saying something or you're not mentally saying it, you might just unconsciously be doing things and start leading an uncentered life. This is why we will create illness, right? Your feet will get locked up. Your sound is no longer reciprocating other people's constructive criticism because you have now, or we have now allowed an outside force, not our shadow self, but an outside force to enter in. And that's a masquerade in a sense where we can actually start believing, oh yeah, I am about this life. I am about the Jordans. I am about this, that. And look, and if you really are and that's really you, okay, God bless. But at the end of the day, a human body still has certain things beyond what you can bring it to its full creation of, because we're not God. We're not the all end of nature. We have a certain design and a certain feature. So this one's powerful. This one's really, really powerful. Your third one is your secret story, why something happened to me. And in essence, you can use that to shape many, many things. Pick a certain event in your life and you figure out, why is this happening to me? And how can I change that to the for me? There's a book, Read Mind to Matter by Dawson Church. You can check out. It's not bad. It's pretty good. And
Dawson, what's it
last,
called again?
yeah, yeah, Dawson Church, Mind to Matter. And then this one I've mentioned before, but I'll be more clear now. Each and every single child is met until you do something about it, is met with the task of their parents. It means that your if your mom wasn't good with finances, or your dad wasn't good with finances, or if they were an alcoholic, whatever unconscious patterns that they had, you are met with that unmet task to essentially fix it. And it happens through our genetic coding. And so we have three options to kind of do something about all of the above. The first one is your optimal, right? Is go after it, man. Like figure it out. Be humble to yourself and write it down. The second one is instant gratification. I do this kind of half-assed just to get an answer, but not transmute it, not transform it. And then the third one is being apathetic, which is the worst one ever. There's sympathy, empathy, and there's apathy. Apathy, you never want to deal with somebody who's apathetic, and that means just hate. I don't care about this. Like I really, really don't care about this. But from a hateful standpoint, you know. Um, how does this affect your dream team? You know, a relationship with other people in a sense, and it's first of all, what you should do is, okay, I need to get more info before I can proceed in fixing this. So that's a wise thing to do. I need some time. Let's recollect this together. Remember the dream team, because each side will be better off understanding that, hey, if I'm having these issues and I'm noticing it's causing a rift, let's pause because I don't want the rift. I just need more time to figure it out. Shit like that. Or for yourself,
Yeah.
when it comes to you coaching people or even yourself, you see somebody struggling or you're yourself is struggling, you need to find more information and you need to get time for
Yeah.
introspection. So the worst thing that you can do is be apathetic. Okay. These are our 7 chakras here, and we are approaching final slide. Here we go. Uh, in recap, what is our roots? And what is a chakra, anyways? Right? What the hell? What's a chakra at the end of the day? They're vortexes in the sense of energy. It's energy pools, you know, that literally are coming from the highest source of creation. Each and every single vortex that we want to say is associated with something of the world. And there's no, I'm not going to say escaping it, but that's what it all always comes back to, you know? Um, I'm gonna skip this middle one. This lady right here, that's where the root is, right? Can you see the arrow, by the way, that I have?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So boom, then it's gonna be the second, then it's gonna be the third, then it's gonna be the fourth, the heart, yeah? And then it's gonna be the fifth, which is the throat, and then it's the sixth, the third eye, and then it's the seventh. And so it's in our spinal column, you know, it's in that straight line, it's in that curve that we have. All those neurons, all those electrons are literally interwoven through our chakra system, through our vortex. If not for that, it's all associated with the spinal highway of information. So how does this look in real life? It's matter. And matter, when slow enough, is something that can be interacted with. You know, my phone is matter, the laptop is matter, my hand is matter. It's literally gets manifested in a physical sense. For us humans, it's physical cells and tissues. And then lastly, here's your final kind of like point of the day, which can be an assessment. So if you want to assess this, you can. If people have continue having leg problems, knee issues, um, joint discretion problems, from a holistic standpoint in general, you can be like, okay, maybe something's wrong. Like you can ask them, like, what's their security net look like? Do they have a loving relationship? Are they in the archetype of working their ass off, um, but not being wise about it? Are they hurting themselves? Like, where are the insecurities at? Scan for insecurities, be it an addiction with food, drugs, substances, or sex. And if they start feeling pain or they start getting hurt or they feel this way when something comes up, you could possibly look at, okay, this could be a root chakra type of issue. This person has issues with safety, security. Maybe they want to belong too much. Maybe they don't have a tribe. That is a holistic way to assess people. Mm-hmm.
How would you like how do you approach this with somebody? Like you straight up ask them like those kind of questions, like what is your, so how, how do you navigate asking about somebody's safety, security, and tribe belonging without actually saying what's your safety like? You know what I mean?
So really, 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 really solid question, man. I like that you asked that because you're not just gonna say that to anybody that you just meet,
Yeah,
right?
because it's like, yeah, because this is like I'm grasping it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But digest it in a way where I could explain it, you
Here's how you
know?
do it. Um, to explain, is up to your discretion, because if you're gonna start explaining something like this to somebody, you have to use your own words in a way that they get it. Like, let's say if you came to me and you just started talking about the kids, kids and all the
Yeah.
substances that they're using. Earlier on, you said something that everybody can agree with. Oh man, look, they're influencing us via marketing, right? Okay. Lime chili this in a some green purple bag. Ooh, shiny color. Like, it's as simple as that. Like, I don't gotta go to somebody and say, yo, if you eat that, that's gonna harm your root chakra or your groundedness. You're just gonna be like, dude, man, like you gotta wake up a little bit. Like, where's your foundation? Where's your grounding? Where is your conscious saying, I know this is bad for me, but I'm gonna eat it anyways? Like, why are you doing that? You know?
I see.
This, all of this is, maybe it's a little esoteric, but it's the source, you know? I'll tell you what, the reason why I study this and I love this stuff a lot is because this means freedom. It means that you have to know a little bit of thy enemy or thy uh controller, or whoever set this world up, or the world that I was born into in the time frame. If people at an upper echelon understand this and they use it to negatively harm me or control me in a sense, or make me a factory worker unconsciously, the more I know about this, the more I can do something for my freedom, my mental space, and the actual actions of myself. You know, so I believe in the fact that this information is uncanny to us, but it's normal for those who have mastered the laws of the universe. You know, here's another one, by the way. Um, if I was your client, right, and you ask me my job, right, what do I do?
What
Hmm?
do you do for a living?
I'm a
What do
taxi
you do for a
driver.
living?
I do taxi, right? What does that tell you instantly?
Sitting a lot, you know. You sit a
Mm-hmm.
lot. You have a meals on the go. Um, when you do have time, it's probably not like you have time in the night when you're about to go to bed, depending on what time you work, you know. Um, or
Mm-hmm.
vice versa. You don't sleep and you work at night and you sleep during the day. So there's a lot. You drink a lot of coffee. I could imagine, you know, I might be wrong, but you drink a lot of coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
and you got to use your phone a lot while you're
Okay.
sitting.
Boom. Boom. All right. Here's another question. Um, what if I was an office worker? Who do you think the type of people I'm dealing with? I work in a cubicle.
Or you're working with people that are just like you mean like personality types or just straight up sedentary people. Like that's what I would say. Like you're working with a lot of sedentary people that just stay in the chair all day and pick up the phone, hang up. Most exercise they get is walking to the bathroom, getting water, and maybe a walk if they decide to for lunch.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Okay. I work 10 hours a day. And I'm gonna say 10 because I'm commuting to my job and then coming back home. So 8 hours, but 2 hours commuting. So 10-hour day.
man, you don't get any time for yourself. You don't rest a lot. Like, and I'm talking about rest, even if it means just rest, like sitting down and just having like some time to think for a little bit. You know, it
Mm-hmm.
sounds like, or if you're a security, well, you sat on your feet for 10 hours. So yeah, you probably don't rest a lot. Um, you're busy and like I'd go into asking like, what's the diet like, you know? Because if you're
Boom.
working for 10 hours, for that. So
Okay, check this out. Here's another one. Um, New York City or your whatever environment you are. I work at Apple, down in Soho by Prince Street. Okay. So now you know I have a job. I'm standing up a lot. And my environment calls for quick food because my break is only 30 minutes.
so we gotta cut it out with the halal food. I'll tell you that right now. No halal. You need something much more nutritious during your break, and definitely have a breakfast. Like if you're gonna have 30-minute breaks and not have enough time to eat and digest,
Hmm.
then you got to start off, have some snacks. Um, maybe you could like step away for a little bit before you, like in between your breaks, in between you working and your break, have some snacks like nuts or something.
Hmm.
Um, I used to work in the Apple store, so I know damn well like your neck is like this a lot. You feel me? Like you're
Mm.
looking down at, that's where your pay system is in your hand. So
Hmm.
yeah, like I definitely.
You see how you can figure out without asking like those super, super direct questions yet? So
Yeah.
here's another thing. Ask me about any of these, my dreams, my awareness, and my values and actions. Anything. How's my diet, my food, my movement, my what do I dream about, whatever.
Um, I would like, do you have any aspirations aside from what you do? Like, is there
There you
anything
go.
outside that you look forward to? Something that excites you? Like when you,
Yeah. Yeah, I wish to get into woodworking. What I really do for fun is I go to happy hour with the guys, and then I go straight home. I watch some more TV. I love Family Guy, and I kind of go to bed like around like 1 a.m. So I only get like 5 hours of sleep because I got to get back to work at 9.
okay, all right. You ever consider taking walks? Like, maybe after your happy hour, instead of going straight home to watch some TV, you could take a walk, nice park, you
There
know,
you go.
uh, just to think, enjoy the weather. It's a beautiful day out. Or if it's not a beautiful day, like maybe something just more active, like not like, cause gonna you want to burn off all that alcohol somehow. So,
Exactly.
um, I'll also say, what are some things that you can do that'll reroute you from going to happy hour? Like, what are some you can make, or what choices
Hmm.
are available to you?